This is my CFMoto 450MT and I'm currently in Wales, as you can see from the sheeps. And yeah, I'm here doing some adventure touring. Opportunity to do a little video and tell you what I think about this bike. So just before we get into it, I have added a couple of extras. So I've got the full crash bar set, upper and lower. I've put the touring screen on, or the higher windscreen. And I think that's it actually for now. I have got some other planned additions, like a new exhaust system. Oh, I've got this Lone Rider Overlander bag as well, and that's just my light lock attached, just so I could lock it up last night. I did stay overnight. But let's go for a little ride, and I can talk about what I think of the CFMoto, used for the very purpose I bought it, which is for adventure touring. I have done a little bit of off-road. I've done my local green lanes on it, so I've got a little bit of an opinion on what it's like. Everything is stock, no different tyres yet. One thing that does sound great is that engine. Parallel twin engine. Does sound remarkably good. Right, let's get going. So I've currently done, it says 835 miles on the dash. However, it got to 300 miles and the odometer actually reset. Which is really helpful, right? So it is a bit more than that. It's more like, yeah, what's that, about 1100 miles I suppose. So let's just say a 1,000-mile review. What do I think of it? And I've got to say, I'm absolutely smitten with this motorbike. I think it's absolutely fantastic. You got to remember, this is a £6,000 motorbike. I know they advertise it at like I don't know what the current price is, 5-6, but you got to add the 300 quid on the road fee, so let's just say £6,000, and add the heated grips as well, which adds about, oh Jesus, that was a big bump. Suspension's good, we'll get into that. Yeah, so let's just say it's a £6,000 motorcycle, and for that money you get a hell of a lot of bike. Parallel twin engine, 450cc, is making around about 43 newton meters, oh sorry, 43 horsepower. And I think even though it's a low figure, in the real world, it's perfectly usable doing this sort of stuff. We've got J1 brakes, a single radial caliper. It's just a fun thing, you know. You can really, with that long travel KYB suspension, you really can take the mick a bit. The bike performs way outside its price bracket, and I mean that in a positive sense, in that this could be an £8,000 motorcycle and I still think it performed really well. Sounds fantastic, as I've already alluded to. And look at this beautiful scenery we've got today. This is Brecon Beacons National Park in Wales, Banat Brehaniog as it's called officially now. Oh, the road handling on this bike is surprisingly good. It's actually quite firm. The suspension is really firm. Now you can adjust it. I've not adjusted anything out of the crate. It's all stock settings for now. It is fairly stiff. You might want to soften off the rebound a little bit, perhaps. That might make things a little bit more pleasant if you're going on particularly bumpy tarmac. Oh, it's just such a fun bike. And I actually came down to Wales yesterday. I've heard a lot of people say that you need this 15-tooth sprocket. You don't need it. You can do it if you want, but I would miss the kind of lower acceleration. Because it's got a 14-tooth front sprocket at the moment, and changing that to a 15, that would mean you have to give it a bit more oomph lower down, which is fine, but I like how it feels. And like I said, 2 hours on the motorway, I didn't really have any issues. Yeah, if you're going to do 85-90 miles an hour, you're going to be almost at the red line. But the upshot of that is you don't need to ride that fast if you don't want to. I was sitting at around about 75-80 miles an hour, and I think we were about 8,000 RPM. Seems to redline at about 8.5, 9,000, something like that. Oh god, that was we took a big hit to the ghoulies. Comfort wise, absolutely no issues at all. I say that, the only issue I suppose is that this low seat, this is the standard seat, is quite low even for me, and I'm only 5'8" with the 30-inch inseam. I think the seat height is 820mm. I'll probably look at getting the rally seat, which brings it up to 850. I did get a little bit of knee ache yesterday, but it only lasted for about 20 minutes and then it actually went, so it could just be that I need to ride this bike a bit more. I'm not used to it. Seats, I did get a little bit of pain in the first hour, but again after that I found that I didn't really notice it after that. I think I just got used to it. It didn't get worse, and I think that's a pretty positive thing. Just get past them here. So, you know, you can do overtakes if you want to. It's got enough power for that. Oh, look at that. How beautiful is that? Stunning. Nice wide bars, good leverage. And like I said, the road handling is... You really can take liberties with it. It's very sure-footed. You can really just whack it over on the side of the tyre, and unless you're going super quick, it seems to just cope with it very well. There is a little bit of vagueness because it does have a 21-inch front wheel, so if you're riding it particularly sporty, there is that slight vagueness that you get tipping it in, but that is just very normal for 21-inch wheeled bikes. It's running the standard tyres, CST jib jumps, I think. Yeah, they're pretty good actually. I did a bit of green laning with them in thick mud. Of course, they're no good in thick mud, but I do have some Michelin. What have they got? I've got some Mission tyres to try, so it will be interesting to see how they fare against these. They don't look particularly any more knobbly than these, maybe a little bit, but it will be interesting to see. I've done some gravel road stuff. The bike is absolutely fantastic at gravel road stuff. It was actually really good at the deep mud stuff. I just need better tyres. But the way the chassis handles itself, it's really balanced, it's really well poised. That engine has got a surprising amount of grunt for such a low powered bike, but it's really, really fun to just absolutely razz the bejesus out of it. It is a very, very fun thing. And I'm, trying to keep at legal speeds as much as I can, but it will go a lot quicker than this, let me tell you. As an adventure tourer, I really can't recommend this bike enough. You've got I think it's a 17.5 litre fuel tank. I've been getting just over 200 miles. You could probably push that. It's just over 60 miles to the gallon, doing motorway work, doing more sporty B roads. It's dropped down to 57.6, but that's still not that bad. And I've really been, working the engine hard, shall we say. Brakes are pretty good. They're not, they're not the most amazing brakes, but they do the job. And I dare say some better pads would certainly help with the feel. Rear brake is surprisingly good. It's got a lot of feel through the lever. There's not like a lot of bikes. There's a lot of travel in the rear brake lever, and then all of a sudden it bites and you end up locking the rear wheel up. This has actually got a lot of very nice amount of feel to it, which is great, and it's really good for off-road. Talking of off-road, you've got this ABS button here. You just hold that down for 2 or 3 seconds and it disables traction and ABS to the rear, and then you press it again and it sticks it back on for you. So it's a really simple system. This new windscreen, I think I paid £50 for it, I think, roughly, give or take, from good old Uncle Wang. I thought it was a scam website at first. I was like, Uncle Wang's, are you sure? But I bought the The crash bars, upper and lower, I bought the screen. I bought some service items like an air filter and a couple of oil filters. Side stand, extender thingy, like a footprint enlarge. A penis enlarger. No, bigger shoes for the side stand basically. Wow, look at that. Whoa, it's made my stomach go a little bit funny there. Oh, it is really windy up here though. You've got charging up front, USB-A and USB-C, so that covers both bases. I've just whacked my spare phone on the sat-nav bar there, just so I can do some satellite navigation systems. Oh, this bike! Oh, I can smell the water, that smells amazing. It smells very, very wet. Oh look, it's the, just pull in here. It's a big old reservoir. Right, now that we're in this rather nice vista, I can do a quick walk around. So here we are, here she is, my CFMoto. I bought it in 2026, but it's a 25 plate, but it's a 25 model. It's not got the new colour. But there's your long travel KYB forks, J1 radial caliper, only one, big disc. What are these tyres? Can't remember what the tyres are. I think they're CST. It's not the easiest to see right now. Yeah, I don't know. Look it up in the spec sheet if you really want to know. There's the fruity lump, which sounds great. Yeah, 43 horses, and that's actually that's enough. Bear trap style foot pegs, foldy brake lever and gear lever, so that if you do fall off, it won't just bend and snap. It'll actually pivot on this point. No quick shifter, unfortunately. I did take the lady on the back, and she said the only issue is that the pegs are quite high. So her knee, and she's only short, but her knee angle is quite acute, so it hurt her knees a little bit. There is a luggage rack under there somewhere, so that's what I've attached my Lone Rider case to. There's your rear shock. It's preload adjustable. I think it has got other adjustability on it. No remote preload adjuster though, which is a bit of a shame. I would have liked that, just so I can fiddle with that if I need to when I'm taking either luggage or Sophie as a pillion. Switch gear is ever so simple, and here's the menu system. There we are. It is connected up to my phone at the moment. And what that gives me is it actually has a built-in tracker, because it's got the T-box, which is like a GPS thingy. It's got a built-in tracker, and if anyone moves the bike while it's not powered on, you get an alert. You have to download an app onto your phone. Well, that's pretty nifty, isn't it? Oh, such a good bike. I love it. I like it a lot. Oh, the smell of the water is really quite nice. Very refreshing. I think it's the petricles. Oh, don't make us go to 30. And we can talk about throttle response now. If you're a little bit ham-fisted, it will seem like it's quite jerky, but once you get used to it and you finesse your throttle hand, that doesn't become an issue. Yes, it would be nice if that was a little bit softer. I did update the software because, as I said, the only issue I had was that the bike forgot its mileage. The odometer just reset after 300 miles, and I was like, what the hell? Why? And like my trip meter said something like 120 miles, but the odometer said 0. I was like, well, that's not right. Yes, I googled it, and there's been quite a few posts about that it's a very well-known thing. I downloaded some software, which is actually easy because you just use your phone, do it via the phone and via the app, and away you go. And then it's not done it since, and we are now at 845 miles, so you can add 300 to that. I have had its first service as well. I might cover that off in another video, but it cost me about £150. Oil change, filter change, and they just did their usual checks, which, you know, no, it's not great, but at the end of the day, it's not the most expensive I've had either. Yeah, so oil and filter certainly oil change every 3,000 miles. I don't know whether I'm going to continue using the dealer for that, because I want to use this bike ASAP? No, as much as possible, not as soon as possible, as much as possible. And just do loads of adventure touring, which will rack up miles, which might mean that it does get a little bit expensive in terms of the servicing. So I may just start doing it myself. Now, it does have a 4-year warranty, and they did say that you have to get it done at an approved dealer, but I thought that was not a thing anymore. I thought that whole right to service your own vehicle was, you know, it doesn't affect your warranty provided you don't absolutely naff it up. So I'll have to look into that, but yeah, I'll probably just do it myself. And I know some people are saying, oh, I would have bought one, but it asks for servicing every 3,000 miles. If I'm honest, you probably should be changing your oil every 3,000 miles anyway on any bike, or at least 4. Yeah, 3,000 miles is low by 2026 standards for sure. It's, you know, if you buy the oil yourself and do the filter and stuff, it's not really an issue. It takes like what, 10 minutes, if that. It is an easy job, even I can do it. So yeah, long story short, I absolutely love this bike, and it's the best bike I've ever bought. I think it's fantastic. It's not the most performant bike I've ever bought, but that doesn't really matter. It does everything I need it to, and it does it still in a way that allows me to have fun. So it's kind of shifted my perspective a little bit, because, you know, at home I've also got the Hornet 1000, which is 150 odd horsepower, and I really am not sure if I need that. I suppose the only time I really miss the power is when you're trying to do overtakes. You do need to just plan a little ahead, and also don't be afraid to give it an absolute handful. Hey, that's what she said. Like here, you can zip past like that, and also like that, and also like that. Fantastic. It just needs a little bit more forethought is all. But yeah, I absolutely love this bike, and I would highly recommend that everybody try one. Everybody that can get hold of one, go and try one, because it really is a fun little bike. And it certainly opened my eyes to, you know, other brands that I definitely would not have thought about before. I used to say famously, and Rob keeps reminding me of this, I used to famously say the Chinese will never get there, they'll never have decent bikes because they're just cheap tats. Well, I was very wrong. I was very wrong, and I have to eat my hat. Chapeau. Wee wee. Ooh, I wonder if the biker's in a bit of trouble. Maybe. Even if they haven't done something wrong, seeing an unmarked police car happy chuff with its blues and twos going would certainly give one concern. Any negatives? I suppose we can say that the snatchy throttle will put some people off. The servicing, I wish that was a bit better. Doesn't bother me too much, but I know it has put some people off. And it would be easier if it was like 6,000 miles services or something. A bit more peace of mind. Like I said, I think really I would kind of get mine done once a year, or 4,000 anyway. Just, I like to keep my engines in tip-top condition. But for what I bought the bike for, which is adventure touring, a little bit of off-road, not really green lane stuff, because I don't want to be taking this into deep, thick, boggy mud, because one, I hate cleaning bikes, and two, is still a heavy bike. You know, it's 100 and, I think it's 180 something kilos without fuel. Ultimately it doesn't really matter, like it weighs what it weighs, and it really does handle its weight very well. Doesn't feel top heavy. It's easy to move off the stand at a standstill, for me at least. But you do feel the weight when you're muscling it around in thick mud, that's for sure. But when you're going, when you're actually rolling, it's fine. It is very, very easy to move about. Another issue I would say is the clutch feels... I know what a light clutch feels like, but this feels like the springs are just very weak. I don't know why I get that impression, but it just feels like that might be an issue through the lever. So I will probably change the clutch springs with some heavier duty ones, and after a little bit of time and timing it with an oil change, I'll probably do a new clutch pack. Yeah, I think you can get sort of heavier duty clutch plates now, so I'll probably do that at some point. But yeah, not really anything else to complain about. I'm also going to try the rally seat, just because I think that might actually be a little bit more comfortable, because you'll be a little bit taller, and I need all the help I can get in that department, to be honest. So yeah, don't just discount CFMoto because they're Chinese. They are actually really quite good. Obviously I've only done 1,000 miles, so I will keep you apprised of any updates or any issues that I have. So I think that will just about do for this video. Thank you for watching. This video is going to be part of a little series that I do of riding about in Wales. So if you like that sort of thing, bit of a tour video, do subscribe so you don't miss out. And I think that will just about do it. Thank you so much for watching. If you do go out today, do ride safely, but remember to have fun, of course. Otherwise, what is the point? No, it's not. Until next time, you take care. Peace. I'm out of here.